Okay, so just a couple design notes here. Because right now I'm on the BF number component, and because I'm binding to current value, not current value as string, this as string. Here, I'll run this real quick. You'll see it will throw an exception. Uh, for See, we got an exception and the reason why we got an exception is because down in the override try parse value from string, I'm throwing that exception. But if I just bind to the current value, we'll do a restart application just to be safe. If I bind to that, it never gets called. Um, but if I change the value, the current value gets updated just fine. If I change this to say 101.5, so I don't know, somehow Blazor figures it out under the hood. So there's no need for this. I am gonna leave this in here for now. I'll get rid of that. I'm gonna leave this in here for now because I don't want to have to figure this stuff out all over again if during form submission or something screws up. But in most of the inputs I just went through, um, and I just got rid of it and just threw a new, because these ones are binding to strings. And the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is that I kind of made myself a little to-do list here. So I took this text right here, and if you copy this into a C sharp to a class, you're gonna have to go through and escape all these friggin' quotation marks. Well, I took this and copied it into where is it? Input type factory. And I had to put the at symbol in front. And by the way, I'm on version 17.3.1. And see how it automatically escaped the quotation marks with double quotation marks? That's really cool, man. That's a serious paper cut right there. And also, when I took these, because I wanted to kind of have a description for each one, um, and I took, say this one, it's got this, right? And if I copy this and paste it in here, you can already see what's going to happen. It automatically escapes it with a escape character instead of the double quotation marks, which you need in whatever these are called, with the at symbol in front of them. And I did something screwball there, I don't know what. And that, I just want to have kind of a list here. Let me show you what that is. I could have just shown you on the little forms page. But that's just a list to kind of give me a little bit of a roadmap and wrap my head about what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, so for today, what I'm going to look at is the input group. Now, the input group, there's a few different things here. There's the text, and it's easy enough to put an append or whatever, but you get this paper cut that you got to remember to wrap text in an input group text. But if you come down to buttons, well, checkboxes and radios, they need to be implemented inside of this input group text, which I don't know why on earth you'd want a radio button there, but it works, right? So I don't really know how to go about it. I can get rid of this input group text pain point, but or paper cut, but I think you're gonna have to remember form check input. Because I don't want to get, I kind of want this class library to be, follow the 80-20 rule. I want it to be, lean and lightweight, and so I don't want to make, there's great libraries out there that you can already use, and they're awesome. I'm not going to mention any by names, but they're kind of bloated. They've got like every imaginable scenario, and there's one, I'm not going to mention any names, or a couple of them I think now, where you can download individual components. But the forms thing itself, I mean, you're either going to use the forms part or you're not. So that's why I'm putting all the form components into one class library. So as far as the 80-20 rule, I think you're just going to have to remember to put form check input if you want to have a checkbox in front or after your input. Multiple inputs, again, this, maybe down the road or something like that, where there'd be a list of inputs. But for now, we're going to keep to the 80-20 rule. Multiple add-ons, I think I can make that work no problem. And then the button add-ons, you just put the button in there. You're going to have to remember the classes here, the end user, or the user of the class library. And buttons with drop-downs, I'm not going to implement that for now, because unless you have Bootstrap JS in there, I don't think they open and do all their stuff. So we're going to leave that one alone. And then same thing with segmented buttons. We're going to leave that one alone. And this is custom file input. Button choose file. No change. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll have to see. It's input form control. Anyway, but we're going to try to implement at least 80% of this. So let us go, and I'm going to do this on all of them, but I'm just going to do it on BF text for the video. And then I'll go through the other ones to put other add-ons in there. So we're going to want to take this and wrap it in div class equals input group. And then we'll do down here we'll do a parameter prop. What is that called now? Render fragment. And Bootstrap 4 had, I forget what the classes they had, but I'm going to kind of follow that. I'll call that append input group. I don't know. Copy V, and this one will be prepend. I'm still running. So one thing I noticed on 17.3.1 is if you do this in a form, in a Razor file, it doesn't give you that thingamajigga-jabba. So let's go into the input factory and I don't know, put it here, I guess, rather than typing it out. I don't know if that's faster or not, but that's what I did. bftext.razor. Actually, I wonder if these things should go. I'll put it here for now, but I think I'm going to end up moving this to one of our base classes, which I don't even know what the BF input, base input, because this should be common to most all of them, except for checkboxes and radial buttons. I'm not going to do that now. Well, maybe I will. Let's see. Control X. So we'll throw that on string helpers, label helper. Yeah, I think we can just throw it on the base one for now. I don't know where I should paste it. We'll move them. We'll think about this later on, but let's just get something going here. applied appends the HTML as Bootstrap input. Yeah, that's what they call an input group add-on, right? Or prepend, I forget what they call them. What they used to call them in Bootstrap 4. That's right here, right? Just grab this. Prepends. Okay, so that's done. Let's go over this. And since we don't have it there, we don't need it there. And then here we'll just say this at prepend, right? Prepend input group. And append and input group. I think that'll work. Cross our fingers. Okay, it's not throwing any problems without one. Now, let's go ahead and go to this thingamajigger Java. We'll throw it on this. And what's that? We'll say prepend, right? We'll throw a $sign. I know it's not right, but I should have thrown the append on there too, but pretty sure if this works, the other one's gonna work. Alright. Oh, no, that's right. I forgot we gotta do we gotta have that input group text. Is that what it was called? Input group text. Yeah, input group text. So we're going to take this, control copy, and I don't know if I should have this in a separate namespace for the user to import, because it's kind of confusing. And I think I did a, oh, no, that's not what I want. So input group text, input group text container dot Blazor. Where are you, buddy? And then we'll throw that in there. Get rid of the ID. And then we're going to have at code. Parameter. And this is actually editor required, right? Because you got to have something in this one. And the other one is too, actually. Editor required. Parameter, prop, string, no, yeah, it's just a string, right? String, no, let's just we'll call it child content. We'll do it as a render fragment because render fragment because I'm not sure why. You might actually have some HTML in here, actually, right? You might have like this, italics, at, or something, So, better this way. At child content, okay. Let me go back over to, where was it, base input. We'll say editor required on this. No, because it's not editor required. Okay, so that's that. Then we're going to go back to this page, and we're going to call this, what do I call it? I can't even remember. Input group text add-on. Input group text container, and then we'll throw in a $sign, and hopefully that lines up a little bit better. Alright, that's looking proper. Looks proper in dark mode, light mode, yada yada. And let's just throw a button in there too for scat and giggles. Button type. I don't really need this because I'm not going to press it, but class equals button primary. Let's see if hot reload's working for me today. Yes. Alright, so the buttons work. And what we'll throw it as append input group. Hot reload working on that. It didn't get rid of the first one though, did it? Alright. So that's going to be it for this one, I guess. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.